time.
She was like the president.
Yeah, of her chapter.
I'm not gonna lie, it's one of the funniest stories in history.
Tell me what we're eating here, and why, I guess.
So what we have here is pickled mackerel with a coconut cream, some tempura flake, and cilantro.
Cool.
This is kind of like coconut shrimp, a little bit.
Right.
And then we've got our compressed apple salad.
Wow.
We've got winter squash puree at the bottom. We've got pickled shrimp that are coming from the Gulf. We have compressed apples draped over top, and then we have tobiko, flying fish roe, and a little rose sugar sprinkled on top too.
Oh my God, it looks so amazing. I mean, when you said a salad, I was like, oh, but that'd be cool, a nice little salad. And then this came out of it. I was like, I'm really interested because you were talking about growing up in like skateboard culture, and like I think of I know that. I think of like Vice and like early in skateboard. Like I know Alec is really inspired by like Jackass and skateboard culture and like the thing like you said pop-ups and stuff. I love that has somehow like the transition of that to using like the fine little this guy.
Yeah, little tweezers.
Little tweezers. Did you imagine like you would use tweezers in your food, or did that just sort of have to happen out of necessity?
I think it just had to happen out of necessity.
Yeah.
I guess the more you cook, the more refined it is, the less ingredients you use. So you just have to make it nicer.
Yeah.
So I don't have to put 13 ingredients into something that's like 4, 5, but you just have to make everything perfect.
Yeah. Are you OCD at all?
ADD.
ADD.
Yeah.
I'm also ADD. I'm ADHD. If you can't tell already, especially with mine, like.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just got cool in the last few years. Like when I was a kid, it was like, all right, take some Ritalin and please be quiet.
Right.
And then I was like, all right. And then, I'm like 10 years of therapy to deal with that feeling. And now I'm like, all right, cool, it's cool. I'm a superpower.
I know, like, I don't know why it's cool right now.
Yeah.
It's not that tight.
No. It's really, the older I get, I'm like, oh no, this is bad.
Yeah, sometimes I get real sad for no reason.
Yeah.
And then I'm all right.
That's the part that I feel like doesn't get talked about with ADD. It's not just that like we're sporadic people with our minds firing off. It's that like that is painful in a way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's my experience. Yeah.
Well, I mean, outside of the kitchen, I'm just constantly anxious, and I don't know what to do with my hands, and I feel like I should be walking around and doing something. So working in the kitchen is perfect because I can multitask and move around, and that's my job.
Yeah, my girlfriend, she's sort of socially anxious sometimes, and she's also in the culinary arts, and so she's never been a chef, but she went to the CIA and she has done that. She worked at some places, but she loves to cook. But I realized that's like her way of like when we have a party or a get together, she just like stays in the kitchen. She's like, please just go talk to everybody. And like she just hides out back there. It's just like a way to, sort of save her energy, I guess. That's a lot.
Yeah. But like you said, you could use it as your superpower.
Yeah. Well, you make beautiful food. This is like, this is something that struck me. And I'm curious to hear your perspective on it, but you were saying you went to school to be a computer engineer and then transitioned to doing food, and your parents were like, all right, well, you got to pay for it yourself. It's like telling your parents like coming out as an artist or something. You're like, well, I'm an artist. I'm like, God darn it.
Well, for a lot of people, like I say it's like sports, or I compare it to sports a lot.
Sure.
Only 1% makes it. So 1% of cooks are gonna become successful chefs. 1% of those people are gonna be restaurant owners. Right. And then a fraction of those people are actually successful.
Sure.
So it's hard to make $1 and make a lifestyle out of it.
Yeah. But I think you've done okay.
I think I've done all
got
right.
Like 2 restaurants?
2 restaurants, a James Beard nomination.
That's not so bad.
We're doing all right over here.
It's this year's James Beard? It's 2024?
Yeah.
Is this your first nomination?
It is.
That's so amazing. Congrats.
Thank you.
What category?
Emerging chef.
Dang.
Which is nuts because that's like nationwide.
Yeah. Shit.
I was going for Southeast region.
Yeah, sure.
And they announced emerging chef.
They made it harder. They're like,
yeah, but that puts me on a higher pedestal.
Yeah, right on.
Holds me to a higher standard too.
I love that idea. I think that's terrifying, but I appreciate that idea. I'm gonna eat a little bit while we're chatting.
Yeah.
I can't stare at this beautiful food any longer. That's where it's at.